Hello Summoners, welcome to MainDeck Masters. My name is Jacob, and we just concluded over the weekend the MainDeck Masters Set 5 tournament, and we had 27 participants, and I've got the top 8 deck breakdowns for you. I know everybody's been asking about it. The standings and the deck list are public. I'll have a link to it down in the description, so check it out if you want to be able to look at all of these lists yourself and copy them over to BSSDB. Disclaimer, there is at least one deck, I do believe here, Murglo's, that is not fully complete on Limitless because he used alt art versions of certain cards, and Limitless does not like alt art versions of certain cards. I will let you know what those cards are when we get to it. Our top 8 standings here, this is after the entire tournament. Yami did end up winning with purple red core control good stuff bullshit is basically what we're all calling it. TriloG Studio in second with yellow 2-cost rush, or 2-pump chump as we like to call it. Heckinsleepy with classic armor form white control. Murglo with fabled beasts Windagloom. Synchross with Eva-01, yes, straight up Eva deck, Eva-01, using Eva-01 Awakening and Eva-01 in 13. We have Racho64 in 6th with WILLE Ira. Maxi99 in 7th place with purple yellow rush, like purple yellow immortal 2-cost stuff. And then astyanax in 8th with green blue Forest Golem Nexus Gale type stuff. It's been really cool. And then you do see Brennan and RPG Zeke in 9th and 10th. Too bad, so sad, you guys suck. Just kidding, or am I? They were both running blue-red, and then you can continue looking at things as it goes down on your own time. But we're going to go straight into the deck lists, and we're going to look over them together. So let's start over here with... So let's start over here with astyanax and his blue-green Forest Golem Nexus Gale Ramp. It was very interesting. We did get to see astyanax play on stream. Unfortunately, he did lose to TriloG on stream, but it was a really good match. Of course, we've got, the Bark Maidens. Bark Maiden's able to bring down Pollen when she died, Sailor Ant-Man, Calavencale, Alron. So a lot of really good targets off of that Bark Maiden, and she can hit for her ramp Enchained Arena, Sacred Totem Poles. So her ramp will work out along with Forest Guard and Alron. So her ramp will work out most of the time. And of course, Pollen, you just play her, get whatever Nexus that you want, other than Volcanic Island and Sunken Ruins. The rest will go to trash, but it's okay, you've got Caldera Dragon to get them back. Sailor Ant-Man can ramp 2 very easily, and if you have a Sunken Ruins on the field, it can ramp 2 onto the same one. Calavencale is a really cool card, allowing you to, turn a Nexus into a Spirit, and pop an opposing spirit. It has Gale as well. It's really cool. Alron doing Alron things, Caldera Dragon doing Caldera Dragon things, allowing you to get 2 Sacred Totem Poles or 2 Enchained Arenas or an Island or a Sunken Ruins back and just be able to swing almost infinitely. And Forest Golem being a big, dumb boy with Gale 3 and turning all of your Nexus with cores onto them into spirits as well. So really cool deck, allowing you to ramp a lot and just turn what could be a mediocre board state into a giant board state. Throwing your Nexus at your opponent is really cool. Of course, we got 2 Enchained Arena, 2 Sacred Totem Poles, which can really work well with Forest Golem as well. If it decides to kill something and you've got the cores on it, then, you're going to burn them for life, and then it can be a bit of an aggro nuisance, making your opponent exhaust stuff when they deal damage to you with weenies. Hurricane Highlands, of course, at 4 of 2 Volcanic Island, 2 Sunken Ruins. Then we've got in the Magic, Strong Draw, Starblast Draw, Ice Shield, typical staples, Thorn Prison, Floodstream, and Shocking Vegetation as an interesting tech option. I don't see a lot of people running Shocking Vegetation, but astyanax did and got 8th place. So good on you, astyanax. Then in the sideboard, we have 2 Crystalline Phantasm, 2 Deadly Balance, 2 Sea Lord's Maw, which we did see on stream fighting against TriloG. Really useful against those aggro matches. 2 Floodstream and 2 Cthulhu Shark. So overall, a interesting list. I do believe it could it could use some work to be more optimized, but astyanax did really good work with it, made top 8. Congratulations to you. All right, going on to the next list, we do have an ad in the way. We do have Maxi99 playing purple, yellow, Glutvault, giving everything curse, tempo, whatever you want to call it. Really cool, utilizing Underworld Casino with a lot of the 2-drops to control the opponent's board state, kill their stuff, remove them to 1 core and then kill their stuff when you inevitably lose your 2-drops, drawing and ramping off of Blessed Cathedral, and then drawing some more off of Purple Smoke Valley when Underworld Casino and some of the other core removal abilities are able to proc. So definitely cool there. In the list, we've got 4 Dark Demo Bones, 4 Lost Chip being very good, both with the Freestall that's in the deck over here, and the Blessed Cathedral, and the Underworld Casino being able to proc all of that all at once. Actually, does it work with Freestall? I'm not entirely sure. Why did I do that? Does it work if the Freestall is destroyed in battle? Well, when it dies at the end of the battle, it destroys itself, so very possibly. Detective Pintan, allowing him to get some of his yellow magics back, which being the Lightning Arrow, the Godslaying, or the Hellish Birthday, which is really cool. Macaroni Pintan as a constant source of being able to bring things back. Only 1 Beldegor in this, which is interesting because there's 4 Grim Gambler and 3 Dullabone. I would think that you would want to play some more Beldegor, being able to see that it, being able to proc the proc off of Grim Gambler dying and being able to proc off of Dullabone dying. But I guess Maxi decided only 1 Beldegor was necessary. I would definitely bump that up to at least 2, but Beldegor is in there, and if you get into trash, then he's there. 4 Grim Gambler to work with the myriad of 2-drops plus the Glutvault and the Black Lance. 3 Dullabone, allowing you to bring back some of your 2-drops. It also has Curse on its own, and being able to reduce something's BP. Just a really good card. Just having the Curse itself and being able to return a 2-drop is just really keen. Then Miser Glutvault, it gives all your yellow spirits Curse, which is most of the cards in the deck, and then basically is what it's used for. Really good card. It could come out for 2. Just incredibly powerful with this, purple yellow strategy. 2 best lands to draw some more cards, a back and a drag, just in case, just to be like, oh well, I need to wipe your board really quick, so let's back drag combo. And that's definitely something that you can be doing, especially if you're drawing off of Blessed Cathedral and Freestall quite a bit plus Purple Smoke Valley. You could pretty easily get to it. Then of course we've got the 4 Casino, 4 Cathedral, 2 Smoke Valley Nexus combo, just getting that reduction down, and all of these Nexuses are able to do something pretty interesting for the deck to gain advantage and everything. Then we've got 3 Deadly Balance, 4 Ice Shield, 3 Lightning Arrow, 2 Godslaying, 3 Doubly, and 3 Hellish Birthday, all in the main deck, allowing really good combos. Deadly and Doubly, of course, in any purple strategy are going to allow you to help clear the board and proc the Blessed Cathedral on the ramp and or the draw. Lightning Arrow just saying, no, you can't block. And Godslaying saying, well, I've got a lot of 2-drops, so your stuff's likely going to die. On top of that, Hellish Birthday just going, hey, I've got a bunch of stuff back on the field for, very cheap, is a good combo, and Maxi was able to pilot this to 7th place. So then in the side deck, we have a Sage Pintan, 3 Secret Flower Guard, an additional Godslaying, an additional Back Drag, and then 3 Exhaust Nexus. There's a lot of yellow in the deck, so seeing the Exhaust Nexus in the side being like, hey, I need to wipe your board if you're running a bunch of weenies could, prove very useful. So that's Maxi's list, and he got 7th place, so good job, Maxi. And if y'all want to, of course, check this out, again, link is in the description. Then coming in 6th place, we do have Racho64 running WILLE Ira, and we've seen this deck before because this is one of the European lists that topped or won an event recently. I don't know exactly which one it is. Whoever does know, drop a comment down below saying which event it was, but it's WILLE Ira. 4 Rubius, 4 Armament, 4 Anchor Cables. You've got the Mother Meadowbirds. You have the Greys, the O2 and O8Y. However, Racho actually had an issue with his deck list where he was not running O2 and O8Y. He was actually running Gatling Gun. and that was missed in deck check. I know we're terrible. We can't figure out deck checks, but it's hard to see. Sometimes it's hard to see exactly what card it is unless they hold it right up to the camera. And they have the same 0208Y and Gatling gun have the same reduction. When you have a not perfect quality camera, it looks the same. We're making excuses, but either way, it missed deck check. And he was playing Gatling gun, and the first time we saw Racho play, he dropped a Gatling gun, and we were like, this is an 0208. So, in this list, you'll see 0208, which we made him play in the end, but he was actually running Gatling gun. So, do with that information what you will. Afterwards, we've got the 4 of the 4-in-1 state, which is one of an incredibly amazing card. 1 Nova and 4 Ira, and then 4 Willa, 3 Mari, 4 Starblast, 4 Ice Shield, 4 Thorn Prison, 3 Ancient Draw, 1 Dream Bomb. And in the side, we do have more Seaworm Nova, more Gray. We got 4 Burning Force, a Lightning Arrow, and a Crystalline Phantasm. So that's WILLE Ira. It did really well, and congratulations to Racho for making 6th place. After 6th place is 5th place, who is Synchron, who ran Eva-01 with a bit of additional flair to it, and Synchross actually was our undefeated in Swiss. He went 5-0 in Swiss, and the only reason why he ended up in 5th place is because he had to drop after Swiss because life. He was like, I didn't think I'd get this far, honestly. I have to go. So, unfortunate that we didn't get to see more from Synchross, but he piloted this deck to perfection, and I'm so happy to see how well Evo was still able to perform in a set 5 meta. And this is a very interesting list, and Synchross was able to add some additional cards to make the list a little bit better. So let's go over it. We do have 4 Eva-01 World of Memories. It can come down for free, really good. 4 Eva-01 attack, good way to draw cards. 2 Dragonaga Assassin. Also, Dragonaga Assassin is one of those cards where I said, even in Purple Eva, you want to be running Dragonaga Assassin for that. Just having that draw is really, really important off of Assassin, and Assassin always puts in work. Then, of course, we've got 2 Beldegor because we are running 8 4-drops. We've got 4 Accomplishing a Miracle and 4 Dialogue with Father. 1 to be able to strip your one of your opponent's spirits down to 1 core at the beginning of the battle phase, and the other one allowing you to draw a card when it swings if you have a Shinji Nexus. Then we're running 4 Eva-01 Awakening, and Eva-01 Awakening did put in a lot of work. It's a 2-symbol spirit. It doesn't die to things like Ira. It's very sticky. It removes a core from one of your opponent's spirits, so it in conjunction with Accomplishing a Miracle, or it in conjunction with Infinite Sync Rate, if they have a spirit with only like 3 cores on it, can do a lot of work. Then, of course, we've got 2 Dread Knight Nemesis, because Nemesis is a baller, and 2 Eva-01 and Eva-13. And on stream, we watched Eva-01 and Eva-13 swing in for 3 damage to pick up a victory and tell his opponent, you're not proccing this Ice Shield, I'm killing you on the spot. Really, really cool. And then afterwards, we have 4 and 4 on the Shinji Ikari and the Infinite Sync Rate. Just a good split there. No, Purple Smoke Valleys or Rotting Swamp here for Synchross. He didn't need them. Then into Magics, we got 4 Deadly Balance, 2 Core Theft, 2 Ice Shield, 2 Ice Shield, 4 Doubly Deadly, and 2 What's Good Morning, acting as pseudo Ice Shields to, return him back to that previous life that he lost, and being able to mill himself out to pick a card up, but also to mill himself out for that Eva-1 and Eva-13. Really, really cool list, only running 2 Ice Shield and going 5-0, so Ice Shield stocks dropping, maybe? And then in the side, we have the 3rd Ice Shield for Counter Sword, because he was like, fuck you if you're playing Ira, I'm Counter Swording you. 3 Hellcrack and 2 Maduke, a really solid sideboard, I think, and honestly, GG's to Synchross, very well played for being undefeated in Swiss. I wish I could have seen you, actually battle it out in top 8. Would have been really cool to see. Going on to 4th place, we have Murglo playing Fabled Beasts with Wind of Gloom. And this is a really cool Fabled Beast list. it feels like classic set 3 Fable Beast, and he just went, you know what, we'll take classic Fable Beast because it was really good, and we're just chucking Gloom in there. And that's exactly what he did, and he did it to great effect. Now, we are missing some cards in this build. There is 2 steam-powered factory in the main deck, and there are 2 additional cards in the sideboard. I can't remember what those 2 additional cards in the sideboard are, but they were alt art cards, so I'll let your imagination run wild, but I will tell you there are 2 steam-powered factory in this main deck. So keep that in mind. Let's go over the list. We got 4 Hippo Campo, because Hippo, he's a baller, honestly. He best yellow spirit, still. 3 Gym Beast Carbulk. We've got 4 Gloom, Windy Goon. She doing work. She's a big baller. She's fucking phenomenal and absolutely broken. But she can be dealt with. We actually saw, I think, this list lose to Synchross in Swiss, so the deck's not infallible, but Gloom is incredibly powerful. Then 3 Arcana Knight Hex, allowing him to draw some cards off of this Clockadile and these Dual Eagles and the Hippocampos. Just Hex just saying, we're drawing cards, whether you like it or not. 2 Clockadile, 4 Dual Eagle, 3 Hundun, and 2 Genbus. So a very mid to low end list, just putting a bunch of stuff on the field and going ham. Not as many Genbus as you would normally think that you would see in a Fable Beast list, but, you know, Murglo piloted it to 4th place, so obviously he was doing something right here. And then, of course, we've got 4 Phantasmal Paradise and 3 Blessed Cathedral, just staple yellow Nexus, especially in the Fable Beast engine. And then right here, there's going to be 2 steam-powered factories as well. Then into Magic, there's 3 Strong Draws, which you don't really, you wouldn't think you'd be seeing in a Fable Beast list. You know, these typically would be an additional whiteout, snow melting lights, or something like that, but Murglo elected to go with the strong draw, I'm assuming for a bit more consistency to see pieces, so understandable there. If it works out, it works out. 4 Ice Shield, 4 Thorn Prison to make some non-games. Thorn Prison and Luster, with cards that have Luster, just create non-games, and Murglo knows this, so he ran 4. 3 Whiteout, 2 Suppression, 3 Dream Bomb, and 2 Exhaust Nexus. Nothing really surprising there, you know, in a Fable Beast list. 2 Suppression, probably good for the Genbu and stuff like that. Gloom can get big, so, you know, Suppression just be like, hey, I'm going to be able to block regardless. Pretty good play. And then in the sideboard, we do see 2 Godslaying, 2 Floodstream, 2 Countersword, and 2 Burning Force. And then there is another card here. I'm not entirely sure what it is. I'm sorry. I have forgotten. I'm stupid. But you put whatever the hell you want in there and make it work. Oh, GG's to Murglo. You did really well with this deck. Moving on to our 3rd place player, we've got heckinsleepy playing classic armor form control with a little bit of set 5 help. Honestly, seeing armor form do so well really makes me happy. It made a lot of us happy. David wanted this deck to win. Unfortunately, it didn't, but David really wanted this deck to win. And why do I feel like I'm so dark? Well, we're already 21 minutes into the recording, so, you know, we're not doing anything about that now. I'll fix the lighting issue in the next video, or I won't, and you'll deal with it regardless. Let's go over this deck list. We've got 3 Little Vicken. Little Vicken, just a good early game android, it has a good armor type, and its ability to refresh something with armor is, you know, very, very good. We got 4 Battery Bull, because Battery Bull is just a really good card to pair with armor form. 2 Blizzastra Eagle, and Blizzastra Eagle is really interesting here because it has armor purple, green, and yellow. And having just that armor yellow is really important for Glooms, because it can't be bounced by Gloom, because Gloom is a yellow and a white spirit. So Blizzastra Eagle cannot be bounced by Gloom's effect. It can still be bounced by, like, Dream Bomb and stuff like that, but it can't be bounced by Gloom itself on its effect, so it's actually a really, really cool tech option here for what heckinsleepy considered would be some meta relevance, especially alongside that armor purple. Then we've got Phantasmal Mecha Troop Hollow Sentinel, a card that a lot of people I think sleep on. It doesn't have the greatest reduction at only 2 reduction. I wish we could see like 3 reduction on this thing, but being able to bot deck a 5k is really powerful, especially against opponents, I don't know, like Windiglooms that only have 2 cores on them. Is play it out and bot deck something. It's like a mini armor form in that sense. And 5k, we've learned, hits a lot of stuff and a lot of really good stuff. And having Astral on your opponent's turn for 4 cores as a 10k is actually a really, really good option to be playing in a white control list. So good to see Hollow Sentinel coming through for the boys. Then we've got 2 Valkyrie Callista doing Valkyrie Callista things. 4 Elephant, because if you're playing white, like pure white or any type of slower build, you run 4 Elephant, and he do be doing work. Then we've got 2 Enterprise. Enterprise, interesting to give everything armor red, white, and purple. Red, you know, anything that's blue-red, well, now it's being protected by Enterprise because it's being protected by armor red. And then that white meaning they can't dream bomb your stuff or Windigloom bounce your stuff or anything. And then purple meaning no deadly, no doubly deadly, no core removal unless it's non-targeting, you know, stuff like that. Just Enterprise doing work. And I actually think Enterprise stocks are probably gonna go up in slower, more control style decks, because of dual color cards. Having such a good armor type such as red, white, and purple is going to overlap and help a lot for control players. And then of course we've got 4 Frost Tiger heavy armor form, because he's the boy, he's the dude. He bot decks 2 5ks, and he's got armor white and blue, and he swings for 2 damage, and he pairs Werewolf Frozen Waterfall. He's just the dude. He's just the guy. He's just awesome. And then we got 2 Rocket City to do Rocket City things. Make your opponent discard stuff and make your dudes bigger. 4 Newman City, because we need reduction for these big boys. 2 Frozen Waterfall, the power boost, and then the ability to refresh something like one of your Sin Spirits is just absolutely phenomenal. And then into Magics, we've got 2 Strong Draw and 3 Starblast Draw. Not a whole lot of draw spells here. You usually see a 4-4 split between these in white control, or at least a 3-3, but 2-3 here. Heckinsleepy really looking to make the best out of everything that he draws, having everything be as high value as possible, so not a lot of draw spells here. 4 Suppression, 4 Ice Shield. Had to get that out. 2 Unescapable Avalanche, because Avalanche is just such a good card, and 4 Dream Bomb, you know, typical white stuff, typical white control stuff. And then in the sideboard, we've got 2 Probe Crab Snapper, which actually does hella work, and I think he said, Heckinsleepy said, this is a card that, if you're playing white control, this is a card that should be in the main board at least 3, like just main board Probecraft Snapper, because of how good it is. And we saw it do a lot of work. 2 Darkness Aura, which is a really interesting spell. Make your opponent either top or bottom deck one of their Nexuses. So it's basically Nexus removal, and if they bot deck it, they'll never see it again. If they top deck it, they're going to draw it, so it wastes one of their draws. So it's actually really interesting Nexus removal. And then if in Flash, you can give something power and Astral if it's on your opponent's turn. So if your opponent is doing Astral strategies, like with 2-pump Chump, Astral, or something like that, you can just be like, okay, my Darkness Aura, my dude has Astral, and then suppression it, you're not getting through this. Like, you're not getting through a freaking 15k Blizzaster Eagle with Astral. Absolutely not. And then we do see 2 Counter Sword, 2 Blizzard Wall, more aggro hate here, though we're not seeing any Flood Streams or Raging Tides or anything like that. And we do see 2 Mammoth Aegis for, you know, that bounce effect on defense, and also that draw and heal effect, really useful. So really good. Congratulations to Heckinsleepy for making 3rd place with white control. You'll love to see it. Then in 2nd place, we have the dude TriloG with 2-pump Chump, basically straight up yellow 2-pump Chump. And this deck did work. Now, I'm going to immediately put you on the sideboard with the 4 Power Boost, 2 Binding Thorn, 4 Exhaust Nexus. Binding Thorn did a lot of work for TriloG in the games that we watched. And I don't remember seeing him play Exhaust Nexus, but there are a lot of moments where Exhaust Nexus could have been useful, especially with cards like Pintan and Wonderland Cheshire Cat, reducing the cost and increasing the reduction of your spells. You could get an Exhaust Nexus out for basically free if you play your cards right. However, he said that Power Boost probably just comes out. I don't think he used Power Boost at all. It was something that he had an idea of using, and thought that maybe it could be useful in certain scenarios, but do not run the 4 Power Boost. I don't know what you run in its spot, but he said it was a pretty useless card. With that out of the way, let's get into the main deck. We've got 4 Resignation Angel Synchross, which is a card you really need to respect in this deck, because if you kill it and they have exhausted 2-drops, all of their 2-drops refresh. So you either kill Resignation Angel first, or don't kill it at all, which is really tough because it's very small. And that when destroyed effect isn't tied to a level, so you can core strip it and it will still refresh all of your 2-drops. Also, when it attacks, reducing something by 1k BP can put the opponent in really awkward scenarios where that 1k BP really matters when you're, have a wide board and you don't have a lot of cores on your spirits because you're trying to like block and put things on the board to contest this deck. Well, they neg it by 1k, and now all of a sudden it's in line with Synchross. So if you block the Synchross, now you're going to trade with it, and he's going to refresh his 2-drops. A really, really good card in this deck. Then you've got Tohiro Musashi, that when destroyed by opponent, not tied to a level as well, you're able to, I do believe it's look at the top card of your deck. If it shares a cost with any of your spirits or any of the cards on your field, you add it to your hand. It's probably going to be a 2-drop. You're probably going to have 2-drops. You're probably going to draw a card. I think that's its effect. If whatever it does is it literally just, it gets you another card. It's a form of card draw. Really good card. Freestall. A lot of stuff is going to die in this deck because it's very aggressive and they're going to be swinging and you're going to be blocking against it. And Freestall is there to draw the deck more cards and, keep up hand. I think in one of the games that we casted, TriloG ended up with, he has board wipe twice and he still had like 10 cards in hand. It was absolutely bonkers. Then we've got Prince Pintan, another form of card draw. When it's summoned, you look at the top card of your deck. If it's a 2-drop or something like that, you add it to your hand. If not, you discard it. We did see some Royal Potions and Reversal Points get discarded off of this effect every once in a while, but for the most part, you're going to draw something. Then Pintan, reducing the cost of yellow magic cards. Sword Angel being a free body that comes out. Unwise Scarecrow gaining luster the turn that it comes out, so being able to luster your Royal Potions or luster your Reversal Points are really, really good. Very important to be able to keep those going and utilize them later on if Unwise Scarecrow is able to survive. Then the 4 Wonderland Cheshire Cats, allowing you to reduce the cost of the next magic, like the actual cost of the next magic you play. Detective Pintan, getting those magics back from the grave when it's destroyed. Pretty important, because if you do mill a Reversal Point or a Royal Potion, or you do use one and you're not able to kill your opponent, well, that Detective Pintan can get it back to your hand. 2 Leaf Wolf, which honestly should probably be bumped up to like 3 or 4, very possibly. Just having that Swift come in, oh, you killed some of my stuff, okay, here's a Swift Leaf Wolf with those cores that I have in the reserve that I got from losing my spirits. Incredibly powerful card. And then 4 Rapier Knight Cat Sith, allowing you to, when summoned, look at the top 2 cards of your deck and add every 2-drop to your hand. Really good. Then Reversal Point, giving all your 2-drops Astral, and Royal Potion, allowing you to refresh all of your 2-drops. Just all in all, a cohesive, very powerful aggro package, and TriloG piloted this deck to big success and piloted it, honestly, like a champion. Did really, really good. Only dropped a few games and ultimately lost to Yami in the finals. But this deck, do not sleep on this deck. This deck is disgusting. But we're going to go on to the person who beat him in the finals, who had a redemption arc because Yami lost to TriloG in Swiss and then came back to win in the finals. We've got Yami with purple, red, bullshit is the best way to describe it. This deck was awesome. Yami put in work and piloted this deck to great heights, winning everything, doing only things only Yami can do. Let's get into it. We start off with 4 Shazznake, having Curse, being able to draw because there's a lot of Serpents in the deck when it dies. Just a great, wonderful 2-drop staple. 4 purple, 3 Dragonaga Assassin. We know what Dragonaga Assassin does. It has Curse, it draws, you don't want to block it because you're going to lose something. We've got 3 Beldegor doing Beldegor things, 2 Crimson Knight giving that red and purple reduction on the field for some of the red and purple stuff that we are going to see later on. Having Curse and then getting Confront for 3 cores is very important and very useful. And the card does a lot of work. Then, of course, we've got 2 Mirrorcaster Ouroboros. Usually you see like 3 to 4 in purple serpent style lists, which this kind of is. But Yami, I'm assuming Yami wanted to find room for other stuff. And just having those 2 Ouroboros are very important in being able to deadly an opponent's spirit, alongside Rotting Swamp or Shazznake, being able to draw you additional cards. And just that mill to draw can be really important, getting key cards into your hand. Sometimes you just need an additional draw and you don't care what you mill, and it happens. Then 2 Earth Spider Demon, which we saw put in work, you know, just swing, remove a core from something, and against aggro that's really good because you swing, you remove a core from something, it's probably dead. Then we have 1 Dark Charger Gazroar, whatever the hell it's called. 4-drop, 3 reduction, purple spirit, vanilla. Just in case Ginbu, I'm assuming. 4 black lands, 1 Great Amethyst Serpent Zom, just having something that is a dual symbol spirit. Pretty important, and there's plenty of 4 cost or more to ascend off of it. And then 1 Brutal Dino Tyrantosaurus. We never saw Tyrantosaurus be used, at least on stream, but I see the idea behind it. Giving, just being that really disgusting boss monster that can come back from the grave at the beginning of attack step to proc Rotting Swamp, to proc Ferocious Prison, and some of your other abilities, like kill the 4-drop Vanilla to come back on the field, draw from Swamp, proc a Beldegor, and everything like that. Really, really useful. I wish we would have been able to see it on stream, but, you know, the idea was there, and I know what you're going for, Yami. I see it. I see the vision. Then into Nexus, we have 4 Ferocious Prison, which we saw do business. Lay it down, ditch a card, which could be a Beldegor, which could be Tyrantosaurus. Anything that you don't need or you want in trash to wipe out two spirits with 2k or less power. Very powerful against aggro, very powerful when your opponent goes wide and doesn't have a lot of cores on spirits, very powerful against somebody who has a fast rush early that is low power. Super good card, and gaining that red and purple reduction together to be useful for your Crimson Knight and your Tyrantosaurus and your Scorched Battlefield and your Starblessed draws and your Hellcracks and everything like that. Very important to have on the field. This card did a lot more. I'm now looking at this card as something much better than I initially expected it to be. 3 Rotting Swamp for the draw, a Scorched Battlefield, 4 more draw, 4 Deadly, 4 Ice Shield, 4 Starblessed, because apparently there's not enough draw in this deck between Shazznake and Dragonaga and Ouroboros and Blacklands and Rotting Swamp and Ferocious Prison and Scorched Battlefield. Not enough draw. We need the Starblessed draw. 2 Core Theft, 3 Doubly, and 2 Hellcrack, which is a card that does disgusting things to your opponent when they're not ready for it, and we watch that happen on stream. In the sideboard, we've got 2 Ritual Fire, which is another disgusting card that does nasty things to your opponent if they're not ready for it, and we saw it happen on stream. 2 more additional Hellcrack, 2 Floodstream, because we're saying fuck aggro, fuck anything, fuck Windigloom, like, it's dead. 2 back and 2 drag for Curse combo, and we saw Dragon be absolutely pivotal in the finals. So check that out if you haven't. We'll be uploading the matches each streamed match as its own video very, very soon. So check that out, or just go look at the VOD and scroll to the very end. Either way, Yami builds these monstrosities in clapsfuls with it. Congratulations to Yami for taking first place in the Set 5 MainDeck Masters tournament. Congratulations to all of our players. And again, link in the description to all the standings for you to see all of the other deck lists, because there were a lot of really cool deck lists. I kind of want to go over some of them, but we're already in like the 40-minute mark in recording, and I want to make this video not an hour long. So check those out. GG's and well played to all of our participants. Thank you to everybody who watched and supported the stream. A huge shout out to Nemesis for being a huge supporter of our stream, gifting 25 memberships and getting the top supporter role in the MainDeck Masters Discord. We love you, buddy. Keep doing your thing. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and this top 8 breakdown. Keep being awesome. Keep being cool. Have a wonderful day. Subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.